BBFC means the British Board of Film Classification. BBFC has a strict policy on representation of sexual violence in films and television shows. Adults can choose if they want to see a movie with that theme in or not. However, even while adults can do that, the BBFC still removes scenes that contain that kind of theme for cinema and home viewing. BBFC have been dealing with concerns of sexual violence since 1914. In the films where there is a theme of sexual violence, there is a focus on how much the victim is in trouble and how powerless they are. And this can link to the real life issues, and that is why many scenes had to be cut, because they can be harmful to the viewer if they have gone through this experience. However, this can go the other way by giving people ideas if they are weirdly interested in that themes by shown in the films. Costumes in 1925. The costumes back in 1925 and nowadays could distinguish the role of which the character would play in the story. This is important because back in those days there was uncut films with the theme of sexual violence in them. And with this, the BBFC had to put the costumes under review because this could link to the theme of sexual violence, even in just the characters' costumes. From the year 1932, BBFC started cutting scenes. From 1932, they started to cut scenes that could relate to the topic of sexual violence. For example, Emmanuel, which was released in 1974, they had to cut a rape scene because it counts as sexual violence. Another scene that had to be cut from No Orchids for Mrs. Blandish, which was released in 1942. The BBFC had to cut 11 minutes from the film to minimise the sexual violence in the film. Another example is from Hitchcock's Psycho X, which was released in the 1960s. The BBFC had to cut the shower scene from the film, and then later the film was rated 15 and was uncut. There are ratings and warnings on films nowadays that have this theme in them, so the viewers have a warning what they're getting themselves into. And the ratings are 12, 13, 15 and 18. In 1984, a new act was introduced. It was the Video Recordings Act. And this basically puts everything in place with the BBFC and what they were trying to do. Thank you for watching.